What if the next 10 years of your life will be exactly like the last 10? Same job, same stress, same struggles? Would you accept it or fight back? No. Holding Sarah's journal, the pages fell open to an entry from 4 months before her death. I've been thinking about Jim from work. He retired at 58, healthy, financially secure. He told me his secret. 5 simple rules he started at 45. Maybe it's not too late for me either. Below that, she'd written, 5 rules for the life I want. Number 1. Wake up at 5 a.m. and learn something that makes me better. Number 2. Walk instead of drive. Save money. Gain health. Number 3. Save 10% of every paycheck first. Number 4. Write weekly goals every Sunday and review honestly. Number 5. Do these every single day, no matter how I feel. At the bottom, underlined twice. We can't control what happens to us, but we can always control what we become. David stared at his dead wife's handwriting. She'd wanted to change. A car accident had stolen her time before she could start. He still had time. That night, David set his alarm for 5 a.m. The alarm shattered darkness. David's body screamed for sleep, but he made instant coffee and opened his laptop. He searched YouTube for warehouse management and found channels run by distribution center managers. For 45 minutes each morning, he watched tutorials and took notes in a spiral notebook. David's apartment sat 2 miles from work. The car payment, insurance, and gas cost $200 monthly. He sold his Toyota. Monday morning, he walked to work. 45 minutes through Chicago cold. His sister called it a midlife crisis. But David felt something he hadn't felt in years. Control. Every step was a choice. Every saved dollar went into a separate account. Every payday, before anything else, he transferred 10% to savings. No debit card, no easy access. Then he lived on what remained. He ate simply. Rice, beans, eggs. David had stopped explaining his vision to people not walking his path. In his notebook, the numbers slowly grew. $400, $800, $1,200. Every Sunday at 8 p.m., David sat at his kitchen table with his notebook. He wrote specific targets for the coming week, then reviewed the previous week with brutal honesty. Most weeks he failed at something, but he wrote it down. This was the simplest rule and the hardest to live. David practiced the other 4 every single day, even after double shifts when he was completely exhausted. The first winter was brutal. Friends stopped calling. You've changed, Dave. You're not fine anymore. One February night, walking home through a blizzard, David's resolve cracked. Wind howled. Snow stung. He stopped under a streetlight. tears mixing with melted snow. All this sacrifice for what? Same job, same apartment, just more isolated, more tired. He pulled out his phone and called Emma. "Dad, is everything okay?" She talked about chemistry, her library job, her study group, never complaining, just working, pushing forward. If Emma could do it, so could he. David walked home through the blizzard. 18 months in, the regional operations manager visited David's facility. He pointed to awkwardly stacked pallets. "These irregular items are killing our capacity. Thoughts?" "May I show you something?" David said. He sketched a tiered storage system on the whiteboard, explaining how it could increase capacity 15% without additional space. "Where did you learn this?" "From a university professor's YouTube channel. He teaches advanced warehouse management and inventory control," David said. 3 weeks later, HR called. New distribution center. Lead coordinator position. 30% raise. Was she interested? David looked at Sarah's journal on his desk. Yes. His coworkers whispered. How did Bishop get that? They didn't know about the 5 a.m. wake-ups, the hundreds of tutorial hours, the notebook full of tested ideas. 2 years into his new position, David had saved $31,000. He bought a small condo. But money wasn't the deepest change. 2.5 years of walking had transformed his body. At 48, his body was stronger than at 38. His doctor couldn't believe his test results. Hundreds of hours studying had made him sharper than managers half his age. When Emma graduated, debt-free that spring, she hugged him. Mom would be so proud. When David turned 51, he walked to regional headquarters as distribution operations director, overseeing 12 centers and 200 employees. His investments had grown through compound interest. He could retire comfortably in 10 years. But he didn't feel like retiring. He felt like he was just starting.